It is the most expensive building ever raised in Las Vegas, a glowing sphere the height of a 30-story tower, wrapped in the single largest screen on the face of the Earth. It cost around $2.3 billion, nearly double what it was supposed to, and it may be one of the most spectacular money pits in the history of entertainment, because since the day it first lit up, this thing has been bleeding money by the hundreds of millions, and the plan to build a whole empire of them has already fallen apart. This is the Sphere, and the story of the world's most audacious building is a $2.3 billion bet that nobody yet knows how it ends. Start with what it actually is, because there has never been anything quite like it. The Sphere sits just off the Las Vegas Strip, a near-perfect ball of steel around 112 meters tall and over 150 meters wide, the largest spherical structure ever built by human beings. From the outside, its entire surface is a screen. More than 1 million LED discs wrap the exterior, turning the whole ball into the biggest video display on the planet, an object that can become a giant eyeball, a jack-o'-lantern, a basketball, the moon, or a rolling advertisement, glowing over the desert and visible for miles. And that is just the shell. Step inside and you are wrapped in a screen as well. A vast curved wall of LED rises up and over the audience in near 16K resolution, so sharp and so total that it fills the edges of your vision. It is paired with a sound system of more than 160,000 speakers, engineered so precisely it can aim sound at individual seats, so the person next to you can hear something you do not. Around 17,000 people can sit inside it. When the band U2 opened the building in 2023, people walked out saying it felt less like a concert and more like standing inside another planet. On pure spectacle, the Sphere delivers like nothing before it. And the technology does not stop at the screens. The seats themselves can shake and rumble in time with what is happening around you. Vents can push wind, changing temperature, even scent into the room, so that if the film sweeps you over a desert, you feel the heat and catch the dust. Building the thing at all pushed engineering close to its limits. A sphere is one of the hardest shapes there is to construct at scale, and this one had to hold a stadium's worth of people, carry the weight of the largest wraparound screen ever made, and stand up to the desert sun and wind, all while looking from the outside like a single flawless ball set down at the edge of the strip. Nothing about it was cheap, nothing about it was easy, which brings us straight back to the number. The problem is what it cost to build, and what it costs to keep alive. The whole thing was the vision of one entertainment company and its chairman, a man willing to bet enormous sums on the idea that people would pay almost anything for an experience they could not get anywhere else. When the Sphere was first announced, the price was put at around $1.2 billion. By the time it was finished, that number had swollen to roughly $2.3 billion. It nearly doubled. That is not a rounding error on a spreadsheet. That is well over $1 billion of overrun on a single structure, making it one of the most expensive entertainment venues ever constructed anywhere on Earth. And the day it opened, the company had to start earning enough every single day to justify that staggering figure. It has not been smooth. In the stretch after it opened, the company that runs the Sphere reported enormous losses, hundreds of millions of dollars in the red, as the cost of building and running something this size slammed into the reality of filling it. Part of that is simple accounting. A $2.3 billion building loses value on paper every year just by existing, and that alone makes the numbers look brutal. But part of it was real, and the share price fell hard. Headlines started asking the obvious question: had they built a $2.3 billion white elephant, a dazzling, unprofitable monument that might never earn back what it swallowed? It did not help that the company behind the Sphere had been spun off to stand on its own 2 feet, which meant the building could not quietly hide inside a bigger, healthier business. Its results were out in the open, quarter after quarter, for every investor to pick apart. And what they saw at first was a company pouring a fortune into a single, colossal, unproven idea. Some analysts called it visionary, others called it one of the riskiest bets in modern entertainment. The share price lurched on every scrap of news because nobody could agree whether they were looking at the future or a very beautiful mistake. And here is the core of the problem, and it is genuinely fascinating. A normal arena makes its money by hosting a different event almost every night: basketball, hockey, whichever act is on tour. But the Sphere is not a normal arena. Its screen is so immersive and so specific in shape that ordinary concerts do not simply plug into it. To use the Sphere the way it is meant to be used, an artist has to build a completely bespoke show from scratch, custom visuals wrapping the entire dome, a process that costs a fortune and takes many months. You cannot just wheel a band in for one night and switch it on. So the most expensive entertainment building on Earth sits, for long stretches, showing a single film on repeat and hosting a handful of long residencies, while it burns through cash simply by being open. That film, a specially made journey around the planet designed to show off everything the dome can do, screens several times a day, and for long stretches it has been the main thing keeping the doors open between residencies. It is genuinely beautiful. It is also a strange fate for the most expensive venue ever built, to spend so much of its life quietly playing the same movie to a room designed to hold 17,000 people. But here is where the clickbait version of this story falls apart, and the truth becomes stranger and more interesting. The Sphere is not actually going bankrupt, because that impossible screen turned out to have a second life almost nobody fully predicted. That giant glowing exterior became the single most valuable billboard on the planet. Brands pay astonishing sums, reported at times to be hundreds of thousands of dollars a day, to turn the entire building into their own advertisement, splashed across the sky for everyone arriving in Las Vegas to see. It is advertising space unlike anything else that has ever existed, and companies line up to buy it. On top of that, the residencies filled in. U2, then the Eagles, then others, playing to packed houses at premium ticket prices. The custom film built for the dome sells slots all day long, so money does pour in, a great deal of it. The Sphere, in other words, is not a corpse. It is something rarer and more unsettling than that. It is a building so expensive that even enormous revenue struggles to dig it out of the hole it began life in. And that leads to the part that really shows how precarious the whole gamble is. Because the plan was never one sphere, the vision was an empire of them. Identical glowing globes rising in cities all around the world, each one a machine for printing money, each one making that terrifying first price tag look like a bargain in hindsight. The first target beyond Las Vegas was London, and London said no. After years of plans and arguments over the blinding light it would throw across the city, over its sheer size, over the idea of a giant glowing ball looming above people's homes, the London project was effectively killed. And with it went the thing that was supposed to justify the astronomical cost of the first one. The easy, world-conquering rollout the company had promised did not happen. To be fair, they have not given up. The company has since announced a plan to build a second sphere far from London, in Abu Dhabi, backed by partners with deeper pockets and far fewer objections. So the idea is not dead, but notice what quietly changed. The original dream was that the spheres would spread fast and pay for themselves. Instead, the next one only moved forward once someone else agreed to help shoulder the cost. That is not an empire printing money. That is a company hunting for partners to share the risk. So step back and look at what the sphere really is. It is the most advanced, most expensive, most jaw-dropping entertainment building ever created. And it is also a $2.3 billion question mark. A bet that spectacle alone, an experience so overwhelming you can find it nowhere else on Earth, can carry a price tag that would sink almost any other business. Some months it looks like genius, some quarters it looks like a disaster, and nobody, not even the people who built it, can yet tell you with certainty which one it will turn out to be. That is the honest story the headlines crush down into the words going bankrupt. The sphere is not collapsing, but it is walking a financial tightrope with $1 billion of overrun strapped to its back, holding itself up by selling ads on its own skin and leaning on a handful of blockbuster residencies, while the empire it was built to spawn has stalled out. It is the most magnificent gamble in the history of live entertainment, and the wheel is still spinning. Every night, that impossible ball lights up over the desert, brighter than anything around it, showing the world a face that says everything is fine. Whether it actually is, whether a building this expensive can ever truly pay for itself, is a question Las Vegas has not answered yet. And Las Vegas, of all places, knows exactly how often the house bet fails to come home. If you want to keep watching the places where human ambition gambles everything on one impossible idea, subscribe and we will show you the next one.